Carrie and Tommy will launch in just a second to brighten your day. With CommBank Yellow, you get discounts and exclusive experiences. More recognition for you and benefits for your business too. Say hello to CommBank Yellow today.
It's the one and only
Carrie Bickmore.
And Tommy Little.
This
Is Carrie and Tommy.
Yeah, welcome to another big podcast. How are we today, guys?
Good.
Bickers.
Happy
Yes, I was going
Friday.
to say. I'm very excited. Are you excited, Bickers?
I am. I'm good. It's been a great week. It's been a full-on week. We've had some incredible interviews. You should definitely catch up on our podcast if you missed this week because there's so much going on at the moment. Busy time.
We also have so much coming up on the show, including a year's worth of free groceries that we'll give away later in today's
stand
show.
by your phone.
Parenting expert Maggie Dent is joining us, and people absolutely froth any advice they can from Maggie, so that's good. But also, when I said, are you excited? I also meant, are you excited about the weekend?
What's the weekend?
Well, maybe
The the show, like the person, the performer.
No, let's do your booty drop and
Like it's hot. Bickmore's booty drop.
It is, of course, Mother's Day on the weekend, Carrie.
Oh, it is.
Yes, and you are the
Every
best.
day's Mother's Day.
You are-
Joking.
You are one of the best mothers in the world, and we're very happy to have you as the mother of our show in a lot of ways.
Aw, thanks. Yeah, I am the boss, and
oh,
the
you're
mother's
talking
often
about-
the boss of the family.
When she makes
Yes.
us call her mummy.
Don't
Yes,
make this
that
weird. This is
another-
heartfelt.
Okay.
Do you know I was speaking to a friend the other day and we were talking about Mother's Day and she said her hubby has organised to take the kids out of the house for the whole day, which is lovely because he was like trying to give her a break from having the kids. And she said, which I think is a really interesting point, she was like, no, I don't want to be away from the family and the children on Mother's Day, even though that is, I think, what he might want for himself on Father's
Father's Day, yes.
She was like, I would feel weird if I had the whole day without the little people that have made Mother's Day the reason, it's Mother's Day for me. But she said that she just wants no responsibility on that day. She doesn't want to have the mental load on that day, but she does want her kids and her husband around. So she was like, so I'd rather you be around and you just do everything.
So tough.
But I thought, isn't it funny? You're trying to get it right as a guy and then you're like, no, but don't go, stay.
Carrie, how do you feel? Because often when we talk about Christmas on this show,
Yeah.
You think Christmas is a very sad time. Do you feel the same way about Mother's Day? Or do
No,
you look forward to it?
Absolutely love being a mum. It is they are just the best thing in the entire world. I've said before that they've absolutely made me a better person. But I also appreciate, given the family I grew up in and the family that my kids have been born into, that mothers don't just have to be a biological mother. They come in many different forms. And I think today is a day to celebrate anyone in your life that has cared for you in that motherly role and to just make them feel special. And I used to be against Valentine's Day, a bit like, look after the woman in your life every day, all of that. And I've come around to thinking, do that, but also, have a day where you just make someone feel special and just give her all the love in the world and take photos of her. This is one tip for you guys out there. Please take photos of your wife, but not a staged family photo. Take photos of her when she's doing stuff with the kids and she doesn't know the photo's being taken, because every mum spends her entire life taking photos of the family, and you only have to look in family photo groups, books, and see that all the photos of a dads hanging out with their kids and cuddling their kids, and there's selfies of mum because mum has to take the photo themselves. So just take photos of your wife unexpectedly with the kids. And then she'll turn around and say, that's a horrible photo of me, delete it. But
At least you tried. At least you tried something, because we also have a message from your lovely son, Ollie, here.
Hey Mum, happy Mother's Day. Thanks for being such a great mum for all these years, and I know I'm turning 18, but I promise that I'll still be around for you for all the years to come. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, he's never allowed to move out. It's funny because when he was younger, I was like, these kids that are still like at home at 30 are weird. And I'm like, nah, you can live with
Stay
mama
forever.
forever.
Well, happy Mother's Day in advance, because, and happy
Thank
Mother's
you.
Day to all the mothers out there. Have a great weekend. We've got more of the show to come.
Carrie and Tommy.
You drive home the Savo. It's Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little.
Because I want to talk X.
X as in relationship X.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I've discovered one that I'm going to avoid for hopefully the rest of my life.
So have you experienced it yourself, or you've watched it in one and gone, I would hate that?
No, I've seen couples doing it, and they're close friends because it happens in their own home. And I've just seen the behaviour when it's happening, and I've realised that I think it's an ick, and I think I never want to do it.
Okay.
Now, I'm actually doing it right now as we speak, but you can't see because we're in different studios.
You're doing something with your feet, are you?
Yeah, I am. I'm doing something with my feet. So you and I are both running a lot at the moment, and I think this is only the domain of the very amateur athlete, and I think this is what makes it icky. I've decided that if I ever get married and I ever keep trying to exercise,
if you ever keep trying to, what is there a chance you're going to get married and just blow out?
100%. What do you mean? Of course, living the
Get
dream.
comfy. That's what people do, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm looking at gout in my near future.
I reckon you're looking at gout without getting married, to be fair.
Yeah,
It's a race. Which one will come first?
In fact,
That's
if you
not
don't
untrue.
get gout, that's so not fair. Do you know what I mean?
I bet after saying that, I bet you get gout and I don't.
Yeah, because it's like everything in life. You just stroll through without getting anything and living life the
Without
way you
gout.
want. Yeah, without gout.
Yeah.
When you
You
deserve
and
the
your
gout.
gout-free body.
So I've decided that never, I'm going to never let my wife see me, A, on the toilet. We've discussed that before. That's quite an obvious one. But B, I'm never going to let her see me rolling on one of those little spiky balls. Because those little spiky balls, I think genuinely, I've seen this in my male friends over at their house. I think the male genuinely thinks that although he's pushing 40, he's been out on a long run and he thinks, this is what athletes do. They're all at home lying on the ground, getting a little spiky ball into their hip flexor. And I think the female thinks in that moment, I'm doing all this stuff for the family. You're not an athlete. Get off the
your
ground.
ball.
Stop using a little spiky ball to stretch out your muscles and just stop.
I hear you, but I've been having issues with my hip lately, and I've been doing a lot of rolling on a spiky ball and doing a lot of it when there's guests over. Does it apply for men and women, do you think, or only when men do it?
Well, it depends what you want my answer to be.
Well, I don't know, guys. Are you all put off by women on spiky balls?
I don't think so. I don't think it's a problem. I don't know, why is it a problem, Tommy? Like, is it because they should be doing something around the house?
Yeah,
and
it's
they're
like
not?
maybe it's surely a
Or is
woman
it
can
the
look.
spiky ball that's the problem?
For me, it's the same as seeing middle-aged men wear Lycra on their bikes.
Is it not the position of the body though? Like I feel like it's also
it's
just
not.
'cause the...
No, it's not. It's just you're not an elite athlete.
If you're doing any elite athlete stuff and you're not an elite athlete,
So then what about your ice bathing and your saunaing and all that crap?
To be fair, my
No, but
ice bathing is for my head
yeah, I
and
feel like that's-
longevity in my life. It's got nothing to do with any athletic.
It's still, if you get married though, that's time when you should be getting up and helping, just the same as lying on your bloody spike.
No. Sorry, the helping thing is not my main thing. It's that if you want to go get a massage, just go get a massage, but don't roll around on the ground for half an hour.
And to be fair, you're more likely to get your happy ending in the end of that massage than you are using your spiky ball in the lounge room.
That's
Sorry,
elite
Carrie.
athlete talk right there.
Carrie and Tommy.
Around Australia for your drive home this Savo, it is Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little.
We love anything this woman does. She has been an absolute lighthouse for me in parenting. Season 2 of Maggie Dent's podcast, The Good Enough Dad, is out now, and Maggie joins us now. Welcome, Maggie. Okay, this is fascinating, this one. You've got a FIFO worker on the podcast this time. You've got a war veteran, you've got professional surfers, you've got Guy Sebastian, you've got the real Jamie Jury. So a whole very, very varying difference of dads.
And that's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to, like at the end of the day, we all just do whatever we do. But every now and then it's when somebody who you think's got all the money to have the perfect life, you peel underneath it and then, they're just doing exactly the same sort of stuff. So
I was going to say, obviously there's lots of differences. What's the similarity with most dads?
Well, they all want to be the dad that they wanted when they were a boy. There's no question in that. And still that same place, they would much prefer if there was a game book. You know, guys really, if I know what the rules, there's a chance I might look at it. But because it's just not like that, then so many they do worry. That's what's come up on this series as well as the last one. Some of the big worries they have about raising their kids in today's world, you know, with social media and digital life and wars, they're just kind of feeling really quite heavy about the future for their kids, which I love it when I hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It must also be, I imagine there's a big struggle. Some of those professions, Carrie mentioned, like FIFO workers and stuff. The battle that must happen internally, you know, you have to provide for your family, so you do have to work. That's a reality for people. Yeah. But then working out how much can I be away without it affecting my relationship with my kids too much. I imagine that is a struggle that happens for a lot of people.
Comes up so often. And even Larry Emder, he's such a gorgeous guy. He's the guy that's been sacked more times than anyone else on TV. Not long after their first baby was born, they were in America or somewhere else, and he had to fly away for the week to do these series of recordings, and his lovely wife was home with a newborn. And you could see on his face, he can still remember how it wanted to rip him apart, right? Because there's this real tenderness in much of those things, but the juggling of and it is the same for women in a way, but we know that kind of like there's an organizer gene that we tend to have that's a little bit more efficient sometimes, but that juggle between how much work can I do that makes me contribute but also make me feel worthwhile as a man, because self-worth often comes from those things. And then I want to be a dad that really makes a difference with my kids. And it's that's partly why I'm a huge part of the Fathering Project, because we wanted to get those conversations happening with men to let them know that they're not alone in that struggle, and that sometimes they can let go a little without having to lose the sense of being what the man is supposed to be doing as a father.
I saw an interesting thing that was talking about that, and it was saying that there's so much pressure and expectation from the outside world, but that men put on themselves to provide and do all these things. The list is a mile long, but that most of the time all that the kids want, and also all often that a female partner wants, is time and presence. Yeah. And not presence as in a Louis Vuitton bag, as in presence as in you to look at your children or look at your partner and just actually spend time with them, not on your phone, not off earning money, just literally there. And that so many men get caught in the cycle of, I've got to keep doing this, I've got to keep her happy, when all she wants is you to stop doing all that and just stop and be with her.
So there's this phase that when we talk about kind of being a boy and raising a boy, that you go from a page boy to a knight, which is adolescence. Sometimes some people stay there a little longer than they should.
She was pointing to Tommy at that point.
I just had a little wink at my mate. And then the prince is where we know we're going to get our shit sorted. We're going to have to be able to create and provide for whoever the family is I'm going to have. If some do it with their queen, but others find it. And then there's middle prince, and that's where there's a real drive to work as hard as possible to create that foundation for your family. And it's often in the same window that you've got young kids. And it's a powerful time for a man, at the same time as difficult and challenging. And then, of course, the next stage is late prince, where we think, I've got it all sorted, everything's going really well. And then, of course, then we suddenly go, is that it? You know, I've worked my ass off like this and I hardly know my kids. Is this it? Is it? And that's exactly that underneath layer that today's dads that I've been interviewing, don't want to end there. They want to be able to be present enough, but how do I do that? And one of the most beautiful chats, Guy Sebastian was quite different to what I thought, because, he's just such an amazing singer and everything. Didn't realise he was quite so keen on AFL footy and cricket, because he was an Adelaide boy. So really that was pretty big, but he was talking very much about I want to connect with each of my boys, and they're so different. But fortunately for him, he's the sport mad nut and a singer. He's got one boy with a voice like an angel and the other's the sports nut.
Half his luck. He's got all bases covered.
So he's got all bases covered. Well, it doesn't always happen, because you can be the alpha male who loves rugby and yet you've got a son who just wants to play music. And so we've got to find out a way that we can connect if our kid isn't who we wanted them to be. And that's a big dilemma that comes up.
Maggie, we do have to pause for a second, but on the other side of this, we want to keep chatting dads with you. Stick around.
Carrie and Tommy. Carrie and Tommy.
Carrie and Tommy for your Friday, Arvo, and we're still joined by Maggie Dent. Season 2 of Maggie's podcast, The Good Enough Dad, is out now.
I think it must be hard with all the non-traditional families, the world we're in now, where Dad doesn't just have to play dad role. Dad also has to be mum some of the time, and mum doesn't just have to play mum role. Mum's also trying to be the provider now and often do it on her own. I saw a beautiful clip the other day of a dad giving his daughter, putting into his 12-year-old daughter's bag a period pack for if she was to get her period. And he was like, he didn't have his wife. His wife had passed away, but he was like, I don't have her here to talk to about it. So I need to. And he went and spoke to his sister about what do I need to do to be a mum dad to my daughter, because that's a huge thing going on. And then I remember seeing my brother-in-law, he learned how to do hair so that every morning, because my nieces have the most crazy, beautiful hair, he literally did a course to learn to do their hair, to braid their hair in the morning.
That's so cute.
Isn't it so beautiful? But I was like, now it's so complicated because there's all these extra things. We're trying to be a bit of everything and everybody, and the roles are not so defined. It's just a lot.
I think it lands on team parent. Team parent, even if you're not in the same house, that we're a team. And there are days that, that we need you to step up because I've got an extra thing to do. It doesn't matter which one it is. There's just one little challenge, and amongst that, the number of dads that say, yeah, of course I can do lunches. I've done it before. And then it's like 3 months later and, can't remember quite what goes in it now. So sometimes we might need to do, whereas, you know what I mean? It's a slightly different thing. We're wired to know exactly. And I think instead of seeing that as a negative in the man, we prepare him for that. So we've already got the photo in the fridge or in the pantry so we can step right up and nail it, right? Because the single focus means they're quite often focused on other things. And I love it when that happens. And I think what I'm now seeing, I get stopped by nearly as many dads as I do mums for a hug. Every now and then they come in and they say, oh, Maggie, can I have a hug? Oh, my God, my wife's going to lose her schmick when she sees it. Can I have a photo?
But it's actually for them, not for the wife.
So I'm doing it. Is just, to me, that's gorgeous. And then one said to me one day, you know what happens when everything's going to crap right in the house? We just look at each other and go, what would Maggie do? Let's go outside. Let's go and eat chocolate. Let's go and have a cuppa. And the two of them together. So I feel like in that common sense that parenting is hard. Kids are unpredictable and fiery and everyone in a crazy world, that we do the best we can, but no one is nailing parenting.
I don't know if this is a stupid question or not, so forgive me if it is. Obviously,
sorry.
Carrie mentioned the
Phones are a pain in the ass.
That's a stupid question.
Yeah, right.
She can sense
I've got
one's
mine
coming.
on do not disturb. And I'm 70. Yeah, keep going.
Obviously, as Carrie mentioned, parenting roles and parenting has changed so much. Like I even look at kind of my dad's generation, and the male was pretty much the enforcer that you didn't really
bad cop
talk to. Yeah,
Your dad's called the enforcer, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Ian. Yeah. Are we, despite it all changing, is it just changing because of the world is changing as well, or are we getting better at parenting?
We're getting better information about child development. That means we make better choices around our children. So we used to be told, I'm a kid of the 50s and 60s, if you didn't, be really strict and there wasn't beltings, then your child's going to turn out awful. So you've got to punish bad behaviour. And then, that's going to make your kid okay. But what we now know, the science really shows really clearly that secure attachment and secure loving relationships is by far the most powerful indicator of your kid turning out all right. And hitting them and hurting them and shaming them breaks that bond, or can break that bond, but it also creates other layers of shame inside a kid that come out later. So we know more, and then as we're going forward, I think it's become a bit more confusing. There is too much information, let's be honest, Carrie. Everyone goes, I'll just see what you do to stop a tantrum.
I know.
And we know that developmentally they're supposed to happen. They're really annoying. And they do tend to grow through them and grow out of them. So I think what's happened in lots of ways, we know more, and also with our own childhood scars, we want to not do that. So we're looking at other ways of coming forward to make sure that our kids have boundaries and they have no, but they also know that they are seriously loved and that they can land on us as a safe base. And I think, I don't know if you've watched The Role of a Lifetime, the ABC series, so why I was part of that was it's not a generation gap between today's parents and their teenage kids. It's a chasm, because the kids know nearly more than what you know, and you don't know what they know, right? And so sometimes we can't be the font of all knowledge. So that's why you've got to change the way that you approach that. That's just, why I wrote Help Me Help My Teen, so that you can get to have the conversation that comes from curiosity. Because, if you come in and say, I don't want you vaping, I don't want you touching any vapes, if you didn't vape, I'll take your phone off you for a week. that doesn't help anybody. So you can come on in and say, but we didn't have vaping in our day, so what? Any of the kids at school? Is it a problem at school or any of your friends? Be curious about it because then it's led into nangs and it's got these other things that are like, what are they? Cannabis capsules.
Did you
that
say
go,
nangs?
Nangs, what are they called?
Sorry, they are called nangs. I just haven't heard nangs since I was a teenager.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So they're still around. But we've got other things that are happening that most parents would not have any idea that that's actually happening out there at the moment. But your kid, if you come with curiosity, would probably let you know and help you know, yeah, there's some pretty bad stuff going down out there.
Maggie, we love you. You're the best. Season 2 of Maggie's podcast, The Good Enough Dad, is out now. Maggie Dent, thank you as always.
Thanks. Yay!
Carrie and Tommy.
For your Friday Arvo, it is Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little.
Same, but backwards.
I'm going to try something different this week. I'm just going to go with the flow.
To be
If
fair,
I feel like buzzing in, I'm just going to buzz in, regardless of whether I know the answer or not.
yeah. Well, last week yours wasn't working, so
No, I know. I got given a dodgy
wasn't
buzzer
fair.
last week.
Or a dodgy brain.
Do you want to test your buzzer?
I think I just burped.
You did. You
that's
100%
Gary's
did.
buzzer for this week.
Can that be your buzzer, please?
I can't do it on cue.
Yes, you can.
Going to struggle in this game. Oof.
Oh, my. Wow. Carrie. I mean, I said do it, but I didn't mean do it. You're really bringing the tone of the show.
No, I can't do it. That takes me a second to do, and by then you will have already buzzed in.
No, but I'm going with the flow, so I might not buzz in at all.
It's getting to you a little
Has your fake burps got you?
I think it brought up a bit. All right, let's play.
All right, here's your first. Oh, it's 7-4, by the way, to Carrie. Here's your first song.
Tommy,
Tommy.
is
You
it
got this.
Aziza Med Sheeran?
Yes, well
Yeah.
done, which means
Lovely in Persian.
all the love, my love,
My love.
my love.
Why is it easier to remember the language that it's in than the
Isn't
meaning
funny?
of the
Because we
word?
say a
I cannot
different-
remember.
But we
Yeah.
say a different thing each time
Yeah,
for what it means.
true.
So that makes it tricky.
1-0 to Tommy, song number 2.
Carrie.
Tommy.
Pink, Get the Party Started. I tell you what, I'm on my heavy flow and it is working.
I thought you were
he's in
playing
the
your
zone.
easy as it goes kind of
Going
vibe.
with the
I am.
flow.
That's what I meant. I'm just flowing.
No, you're just jumping
just-
in real quick. There's
I'm
no
just
flow
flowing.
about you.
No, it's just my flow. Sorry, Carrie, that you think you're not happy with how my flow is going, but I'm not controlling it. I'm in my flow state.
Yeah.
Yep, next song.
Why? Hang on, Anna. What state are you in?
Do you know I got quite triggered this morning when I put on my let's see if you guys remember when I put on my leggings, my bike shorts.
On the mic. Yeah. Where are you walking away from the microphone?
When I put on my bike shorts this morning, speaking of flow state, and I got quite triggered because the last time I wore these,
It was round Uluru.
it was around
when you
Uluru.
nearly bled out.
When I nearly bled out, when I accidentally had that time of the month when I wasn't expecting it. And it was a very heavy flow. And now every time I look at these pants, that's all I can think of.
Yes, we were lucky we weren't chased by bears. Hey?
Yes.
Or sharks. those sharks at the big red centre,
Does
which
that
is, of
mean
course,
if you
Carrie's
go,
nickname.
does that mean if you went swimming when you have your period,
Carrie, grow
you're
up.
more of a target?
Grow up, Carrie.
No, I'm asking.
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Next question. I mean, next song.
It is 2-0 to Tommy. Song number 3 for the win. Tommy.
In the club, 50 Cent.
4. It's a good flow.
I'd tell you what, you've got your flow pants on and you're not even flowing.
I've got some facts for you about
Yes.
the flow.
Yes.
Being on your period does not make you more likely to be attacked by a shark. While sharks have a keen sense of smell and can detect blood in the water, the amount of blood released during menstruation is typically too small to be a significant attractant compared to other potential prey. They haven't seen me on my
Carrie and Tommy.
Around Australia for your drive home, it's Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little.
Do you remember? When was that?
When was that?
When was that?
When was that? When did that happen?
The Archives of the World's Lives edition.
Do you remember?
This is a new segment, Bickers, where we used to look back at things in our own lives and then we've exhausted that.
Well, because I don't remember my childhood, so it's hard to look back at too many things that happened.
You tell us so much stuff from your childhood.
Anyway, yes, so this is where we go back and look at world news events that we may have forgotten about. We've had some crackers. Last week's one, was it last week that the place was going to release a
1.5 million balloons? Put Cleveland on the map.
Yes, and then it didn't put, well, it did, but for all the wrong reasons. The balloons got caught up in a wind gust and came back down.
Yes, an environmental and
closed an airport.
Life-losing disaster.
So what's the story we have for us today? We've got producer Zoe who has stepped in.
I don't know if you guys remember Harrambe.
The gorilla.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all I remember.
Remind me
like,
what happened with Harrambe.
So it's been,
did he eat somebody?
It's been nearly 10 years. He was the breaking news.
The gorilla Harrambe was shot and killed at our Cincinnati Zoo. It happened after a young boy fell down into the gorilla exhibit.
Oh.
I don't know if we remember the footage. It was crazy. So a young boy, he was 3 years old, climbed into the gorilla enclosure, fell in. Harrambe, the gorilla, grabbed and dragged him around the enclosure. It was horrifying for onlookers, and they had to fatally shoot Harrambe.
Harrambe, I do remember that. Is this what this vision is that you've sent us now to watch?
Have a look. It is.
Oh, I don't know if I can. I can't.
It is
But
crazy.
the boy was okay, yeah?
The boy came out with like almost no injuries, really. He had some scrapes and bruises.
I know, but then Harrambe, it's not his fault that the boy went in there.
So the world actually was furious with this kid in the family, and it became almost a bit of meme culture about, you know, put a candle out for Harrambe tonight, blah, blah, blah. Everyone blew up. There was justice for Harrambe.
Don't read out the other one,
I'm not,
Zoe.
yeah. I paused.
There's a very inappropriate hashtag.
So what then happened? So that and then did the family ever speak out or say anything?
No. So he was identified. His name's Isaiah Dickerson. He was 3 years old at the time. So he'd be about 13 now. He was rescued, survived, no injuries, led to debates about his parents, whether they were responsible. No charges were filed against them. But following the incident, they got such bad backlash, they've gone into hiding. And 10 years later, there is no publicly available information on him or his family.
There's no winners there at all.
No. Definitely not Harrambe. The main hashtag that Jessie told me not to mention, I have to. It rhymes with sticks.
We can beep it.
Dicks out for Harrambe. It was the biggest.
Why were we doing that?
Yeah.
Well, it might not be the biggest, it might be the smallest, but why are we putting our dicks out for Harrambe?
It was expressing solidarity with Harrambe and protesting his death.
I don't understand that.
It was insane. It blew up everywhere. It was a rapper who coined it. The phrase became part of the broader Harrambe meme movement.
Oh, Harrambe.
So anyway, that's been nearly 10 years, guys. Rip Harrambe.
So what's your other, why did they not shoot him with tranks?
Yeah, I don't know.
So they shot him to free the boy.
I guess you just needed to stop.
Right.
Maybe it needed to stop instantly.
I think they were worried that if they shot him with a tranquilizer, he might freak out and do something to the kid.
Tighten his grip on the kid.
Yeah.
That's
fall on him. Because he's enormous. Harrambe was huge, but he was protected species, so that's why it was such drama.
Of course.
They had to kill him.
But then I guess what's the alternative too? Like what do you do in that situation?
Particularly when you're in the States and they're so litigious. Like as soon as you don't do something and that kid loses his life.
It's suddenly the zoo's responsibility that the kid crawled into the enclosure.
Kids that fall in.
But also, now you often go to zoos and there's a couple of steps before you could get in. So even if you fall in, a kid climbs over a fence, they're falling into like a little area that's pre the fence that's actually where the lions are or where the...
Actually insane that he came out unscathed as he fell into the concrete enclosure from above.
So not even just that.
Him.
But he fell into the water, right?
Yeah, it's like a little, like a moat. Is that what
Yes.
Water around the edge of it. But anyway, that was awfully sad.
Yeah, it was a real...
Thank God we can relive that sadness. Thanks, so.
Do you remember?
Carrie and Tommy. Carrie and Tommy.
For your R&B Fridays, it's Carrie, Bickmore and Tommy Little.
With CommBank Yellow, you score even more. More recognition for you and benefits for your business too. It's their way of thanking you for banking with CommBank. Ongoing eligibility and T's and C's apply.
Carrie and Tommy's live for free.
Carrie and Tommy's live for free.
Now that we've got Carrie and Tommy's live for free.
All you got to do is answer yellow when you call. When we call you during the week, you are in the running for a year's worth of life-saving essential payment by us.
Yes.
Last week it was fuel. This week it's groceries.
Yeah.
We'll tell you very soon what next week's year's worth of freebies will be. But right now we have 4 contestants on the line. One of them will be walking away with a year's worth of groceries. Ocean. Oh, no. Ocean.
Hey.
Ocean. Did I say it right?
Yeah, Ocean.
I remember you telling us that during the week. Lucky Duck, you got through. Tell us again how life-changing a year's worth of groceries would be.
Oh my God, like especially like in this day and age at the moment, with how expensive everything is, it would be amazing to have something like a stress off my shoulders
Absolutely.
for a whole year.
Well, hold there and start to think about which briefcase you're going to pick from 1 to 4, okay? Stay there on the line. We got Michelle. Hey, Michelle.
Hi.
How are you feeling? You sound nervous.
Yeah, I'm sitting in the room with my girls because one of them's sick, so we're all just, anticipating.
Roughly how much do you reckon you're spending a week on groceries at the moment? You got 3 little ones?
Oh, probably around 200 to 300, roughly.
Imagine not having to think about that for a whole year, what you could do with that extra bit of cash each week.
Oh my gosh, get nice toilet paper and eggs. Yeah.
And eggs. Oh my God, yes. Omelettes can be back on the menu and pancakes, Michelle. All right, well, hold there. Think about which number you might pick. We'll be back with you in a second, Michelle. Zoe. Hey, Zoe.
Hi.
Where have we caught you on the way to or from?
We are on the way to netball training.
Okay, and who have you got in the car with you?
I've got my daughter, Kira, and my other daughter, Bella.
Hey, guys. Are they feeling good vibes for Mum to win? Ask them if they reckon you're going to win.
all the questions, and I'm like, I don't know how it works.
Okay, well, you've got to pick a briefcase between 1 and 4, but there's 2 people before you. So if we get to you, then you'll have a 1 in 2 chance of winning a year's worth of free groceries, all right?
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Okay,
So excited.
hold the line. And finally, we have Ethan. Ethan, we chatted to you yesterday. You're still living with your parents, so this money is going to be for the whole family. You promise?
Yeah, 100%. This would be life-changing, yeah.
Okay, well, Ethan, we may or may not get to you because Ocean gets the first go at this. Let's go back to Ocean. Ocean, what you get to do is you get to have the first crack at which briefcase you want. 1, 2, 3, or 4. One of these briefcases has a year's worth of free groceries in it. Which one do you want?
Oh, okay. I pick number 3.
Number 3. All right. And I don't know which one it's in, so this is going to be as much of a shock for me as it is for you.
And we should point out, if it's not the right briefcase, you get a $100 Coles gift card.
Okay. Ocean, not to be sneezed at, but you get a $100 Coles gift card.
Oh, yay. That sucks I didn't win, but it's still cool.
Yeah, go buy some nice food at the grocery store this week with that, okay?
I will. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ocean. All right, Michelle, that means there's 3 briefcases left.
All right.
It's getting close. Which briefcase are you going to pick?
Well, the girls have got number 4.
Okay, number 4.
I'll go 4.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Beautiful assistant Sam is just handing the briefcase over.
Okay, Michelle, single mum to 3 girls. They're there with you now. One of them's sick. We're going to open this briefcase and see if you are about to win a year's worth of groceries.
Okay.
Oh, Michelle.
Yeah?
The girls are going to want everything in the supermarket because you've won a year's worth of groceries!
Oh my God, sorry.
Oh, Michelle. Oh. You're making us all tear up in here.
Oh, shit.
Michelle, tell us some of the fun stuff that your kids would like to do with that extra money.
Oh, gosh. One of them wants to she's getting her license, so she wants driver training.
Yeah. Don't do that yourself. Let's get someone else to do that job. I'm doing my own 17-year-old at the moment. It is tricky times.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And Selena picked that number too. So she was holding up number 4. So
Oh, Michelle. Well, we hope that lightens the load a little bit for you. Thank you so much for listening. Good on you answering yellow during the week. And guess what? For everyone listening thinking, I wish that was me. Next week, we are offering a year's worth of house cleaning. Oh, my God.
Don't have to clean for a whole year.
You can have guests over and you can be like, oh, yeah, this is how I keep my house.
Yeah, the cleaner's round tomorrow.
Carrie and Tommy.
So,
what do you got for us?
I don't want to ever hear a bad word about our girl Doechii, who we both love, who's coming out for, she's in a show, Spilt Milk or something, at the end of a festival at the end of the year.
Not only her, Kendrick Lamar, Schoolboy Q, it's a great lineup.
But web guy Eli, who's our source for all things entertainment and music, has said that she's under fire a bit at the moment. What's happened?
Yeah, I too was apprehensive about bringing this because I didn't want to sort of badmouth Doechii.
No.
And I think it might be a bit of a misunderstanding, but I totally understand why she's gotten this backlash. So at the Met Gala, she was discreetly trying to cover her dress so that no one could get any photos of it before she made her red
in the
carpet.
box?
Yes.
Oh, was she the one in the box?
Yes, she was in the box.
I saw that.
And so someone was filming that box at that moment when she was getting in. And Doechii started demanding that her staff bring her umbrella so they can conceal the top as well. And as she was doing so, the language she was using wasn't exactly the most palatable to most people. So therefore, they think that she wasn't speaking well to her staff. And here's the audio if you want to have a listen.
Another one, right there. And another one. And another one. Another one.
Another umbrella.
Excuse me.
Two more umbrellas.
Right there.
Two more umbrellas.
So, yes,
I mean, it's not her. It's the guy echoing her going, 2 more umbrellas.
Yes, but because she did use some expletives in there.
So maybe there was a panic and a stress and a...
Have they listened to her music?
Well,
like, what, you think
right.
she's not going to swear when she's asking for umbrellas? I'd be disappointed if I chatted to her and she didn't swear.
Well, to be honest, and I know that I'm making my own assumption here, but I think people just always want to cancel someone who is on their game, especially if they're a woman and especially if they're of colour. And so, because I had gone onto Instagram that night to see if Doechii had addressed it at all, and I saw that her most recent post, which had been 4 days prior to the Met Gala, had over 5,000 comments in comparison to the others, which reached maybe around 700 to 800.
So people were commenting.
People were commenting underneath saying, how can you speak to people
Surely
like this?
every pop star's had a moment like that.
Absolutely. And then the following day, I saw that over 4,500 of those comments had been deleted. So obviously someone went filtering through. And today, Doechii actually did make a statement about this.
What did she say?
So she put up a video of her just sort of throwing up her hands as though she's surrendering. And she captioned it, God forbid a girl needs more umbrellas, with a little emoji and laughing. However, she then went on to the next story and just wrote, all jokes aside, I'm so proud of my glam team and the LV team, Louis Vuitton, who addressed her, for an incredible night. We've been dreaming about this Met for a long time, and the theme this year is in such alignment with who I am and for what I stand for. And then she just said, everyone killed it. We nailed the theme and had and a time was had. Umbrella emoji.
Oh.
So it seems like everyone is good. It just seems like some people want to have an issue.
Well, no, she's good.
Carrie and Tommy.
Across Australia, if you drive home, it's Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little.
It's time for Bickmore's Bits.
Here we go now.
Okay, so we were meant to do this story early in the week when we were talking about family feuds, but we got in our own little feud, not really between us, but with our producer about Prince Harry and his desire to come back and reconcile with his family. We never got to talk about the other family feud I want to talk about, which is the Beckhams. Now, I'm obsessed with the Beckhams. Victoria and David, just love it. I'm into all of it, right?
Which one do you love more? Which one would you hook up with?
David, for sure.
For sure.
Absolute sure.
Sorry, you've been hinting rather generously on this show recently that you're thinking about having a dalliance with a woman, and I thought Posh might be the one to take your
I'm not saying
eye.
that. I've just said that I find women beautiful. I find women
you've
very
said
attractive.
literally, I think that might be in my future. Your exact words.
Okay.
Show.
Anyway.
Just not with Posh.
I like their journey. I like where they're at. I love how they're still in love. I know they've been through a lot. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. I don't understand what's happening with Brooklyn Beckham and his wife and where the feud is. So David had his 50th birthday and everyone was there. All the kids were there, Romeo, Cruz, Harper. God, I forgot there was so many of them.
Is Brooklyn the oldest one?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Brooklyn's the oldest one. Him and his wife, Nicola Peltz, didn't come. And I don't understand what is going on. I don't understand when it began. I think it's something to do with a girlfriend that dated one and is now dating the other or something. But producer Belle, who is a rabid TikTok user, said she knows what's going on because she's seen it on the talk. So what is going on?
I saw a little bit of it on the talk, but I also heard it discussed in depth on a podcast, so I can enlighten you guys.
Great.
And you're right. It is to do with Romeo, who's brother number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So Brooklyn's little brother is now dating Brooklyn's ex-girlfriend. They dated 9 years ago. Her name is Kim Turnbull. And I think they cannot cope with it. So they just.
So is this viewed a thing or is it a media created thing?
It's all alleged, of course. But apparently they tried to organise their own little celebration with David and Victoria for David's 50th as part of the weekend celebrations, where it was just going to be Brooklyn and Nicola and maybe just the siblings and no partners. But the parents said, no, either come to the parties that we've organised or don't. We're not going to see you at all. This is all allegedly. And they didn't want to see Romeo's girlfriend because they think
can't
it's
handle
too
it.
weird that this girl is now dating,
But I thought there was something about Nicola, Brooklyn's new wife.
There has always been speculation that Nicola and Victoria,
but
they
where does that
quashed it.
come from? Is
It's
that just women hating
It's
stuff?
just women hating stuff, yeah. It's just
Okay, so there's no issue there.
They've come out to.
Have an excuse for why he didn't go to his dad's 50th?
No, they haven't posted
Right.
anything. They also weren't at the Met Gala. Did
he post something about his dad for his 50th?
No, he didn't do that. And in the group family photo, if one of the kids is missing, they always tag them and go it's very Victoria to just go, at Brooklyn Beckham, miss you, X or whatever. She didn't do that. There was, a few little signs to.
Is Brooklyn still doing his show online where he just made cocktails and it was essentially a gin and tonic?
Oh, the Cloud 23 stuff.
What was that? No, I don't remember that.
Didn't he
What
do
was
a
that?
cooking one as well?
I don't.
He
can't
just
remember
made
the
a gin and
cooking one.
tonic but pretended he was making a cocktail.
And he was like, "Hey guys, so many people have been asking me what I drink. No one has, and it was just a gin and tonic. And that was his whole thing."
He's still doing it. Cloud 23. He's got a whole page.
He's got a whole page. There we go.
If you want to know how to make an Aperol Spritz, head over there.
Carrie and Tommy.
I saw something online that made me laugh, but it also made me think about me because you guys had a go at me once because I often write just okay back to messages from the team, would you like lunch or we've organised this for later on, and when I'm busy I just write back okay.
Is it okay or is it?
Okay, my mum.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I read online that apparently K, not okay, but just K, as a response is the most emotionally triggering response anyone can ever send in a text message. So it's universally the message that makes most people feel have some kind of emotional response.
More than F off.
I don't know. It's what it says because it doesn't really tell you anything, K. Just K.
Yeah, but I'd
K.
rather be told less sometimes than.
I reckon you'd get more out of an F off from someone that you'd like that more than a K.
Oh, would you?
Actually, indifference is the death of society.
Exactly. But it made me realise. Stop playing my mum. She hasn't endorsed it. She's not getting kickbacks for using her voice over and over. And as her representative, please stop.
Well, maybe we should ask her, Jenny, do you mind if we keep using your voice?
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Mum, would you like them to stop?
Okay.
Would you like us to start again?
Okay.
But it made me think, in a relationship, what is the most emotionally triggering response somebody can give you in a message or combination of words that makes you go, oh, God?
Oh, I think it's when they say, their words say one thing, but they mean something else. So you say, hey, I know we were going to do something, but this has popped up. Would you mind if I caught up with you a bit later? And they just write back, no, that's fine. Go have fun. There's no kiss or anything at the end. They've usually got real emotion around it. No, that's fine. You go have fun. And it's a trap because you do it. And then they reveal that they didn't want you to do it.
And then you say, but you said have fun.
Yeah.
And I did. I really did.
Then you show them the message that says have fun.
What would it be for you, Jessie? Because I reckon no worries, and I use no worries often to friends, family, everything. I think no worries to other people means something different to how I use it.
What do you mean?
Like, I think no worries means you don't care, right? Like, no worries. But I think sometimes I use it when I do care, and I'm like, no worries.
Yeah, but see, I think you're just doing exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah. I reckon you could do it with anything. Like, you could say
Just
anything.
me personally, or anyone could do this.
You could just turn any sentence into that.
Like what? Give me an example.
No, you have to choose the sentence. But
Yeah.
Then,
Okay, sure.
Yeah, so instead of no worries.
Yeah, I'll give you one. I can't wait to be there.
Yeah, so she's good.
See, can I or not?
I reckon it works.
You've
I'm
got
scared.
such a psycho glint in your eyes.
What's yours, Sammy?
I was going to put this back on you. What about the thumbs up?
I use thumbs up a lot too. It's a time saver. I think thumbs up's fine. I don't
thought
think it's good in
for
an
a
intimate
partner?
No, not in an intimate relationship. It's fine in a workplace.
I'm trying to do less thumbs up and more okay symbol.
Oh yeah, okay's good because it's a bit more positive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thumbs up is a bit yeah.
Right on.
But I think
Are you throwing out a shuckers?
Hey, no, I thought you meant like thumbs up is a bit like, I don't know,
I think it's
condescending or something.
Well, I think it's a bit void of any
like passive
warmth.
aggressive.
Yes.
Which I've always used thumbs up as like, I'm so up and about with a thumbs up. Like, that's really good. But then as I've gotten older, I've realised that people don't react the same way to a thumbs up as I thought.
Yeah, some people don't like the thumbs up because they think it's like, yeah, cool, mate. Like, thanks heaps.
I think I find it tough because I put a kiss at the end of pretty much every message, whether it's to male friend, female friend, whatever. I think I find a full stop at the end of a message triggering.
Oh yeah, that's so blunt. When it's a full
so
stop,
blunt.
you'd rather a nothing at the end than a full stop.
No, just kiss me.
Just a kiss.
Your kisses mean nothing anymore. You
I was
give them
gonna
to
say,
so many people.
It's the same way. Don't you say I love you to all your friends?
With the friends I love, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what happens when you say I love you for the first time to a partner?
Well, they usually
Well, let's
say
not talk about things that are never going to happen.
Follow Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little on socials at Carrie Tommy Show.
Bye.
Bye. Carrie and Tommy love a good deal, and CommBank Yellow has plenty. Cashbacks, discounts, and exclusive deals. Just for banking with CommBank. Say hello to CommBank Yellow today.